Staff always says, whatever you do, do not say balls. So I'm not going to say it. That guy has a backbone made of steel. I'll tell you what he's got. I don't know if you heard of this, but he's got BDE. Anybody know what that means? Ask your kids about it later.
Bro, these people are so corny. They're so corny because first and foremost, I have much to say about this. But firstly, no, Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis do not have BD energy. They absolutely do not. They have the complete antithesis of that. They have insecure, I'm not good enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not handsome enough. Oh, Ricky's got more money than me. I got to stomp everybody else down because if I don't, the girls won't really like me. I got to do this. No, that's little d energy. That's puffing up your chest, pretending to be somebody you're not. What is Trump always doing? No matter what, he can't own up to his mistakes. Is that BD energy? No. Let's even shift off of that. Just being an adult in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't own up to his mistakes. He never has. He throws everybody under the bus. Loyalty means absolutely nothing to him. He's a complete disaster and a scumbag. And Ron DeSantis is just a younger, more competent version of him. He's constantly throwing minority groups under the bus. And, while he pretends to have these wars against corporate America, in reality, he's just giving them tax breaks because he's funded by corporate America. So no, these people are just cornballs.
Big DeSantis energy. Right? He's got the same kind of BDE that President Trump has. And frankly, he has the same kind of BDE that we want all of our elected leaders to have.
And now, running Josh Hawley is a meme for the ages. How Josh Hawley fled the Capitol on January 6th, 13 million views. This is your reminder that Josh Hawley is a delicate flower who raced away from his dictator-curious cosplay moment and fled like a scalded dog when the dirty little people he whipped up into an orgasmic froth of revanchist violence got too near his delicately moisturized hide. Josh Hawley prancing secretly away in fear from a mob he created. Is there any doubt if Josh Hawley was a passenger on Titanic, he would have shoved aside women and children to grab one of the first seats on a lifeboat? Indeed, even spectators in the hearing room laughed at Hawley as the committee showed his cowardice. Ironically, over the past year, Hawley has been urging men to be more masculine.
We must seek a revival of strong and healthy manhood in America. We need men who will shoulder responsibility. Responsibility is one of God's greatest gifts to mankind, and men must be held responsible for their choices and their actions and for their lives. Men who blame others for their problems and then slink away to do nothing or worse, who embrace violence or cruelty, deserve rebuke.
Rebuke indeed, but Josh Hawley is also getting a well-deserved dose of ridicule. Hello, everybody. I'm David Schuster, and thanks for joining us. Ever since the January 6th insurrection, Republican Josh Hawley has been standing by his encouragement of the rioters. He's even sold coffee mugs with an image of the famous photo of him and the words, "Show me strong," a riff in Missouri being the show me state. Perhaps it's time to see something like this. Indeed, it takes a special kind of cowardice to rev up violence and then run from the scene like a frightened child. A reminder, in the weeks after the November 2020 election, Josh Hawley was the first U.S. senator to declare he would object to the slate of electors making Joe Biden president. Hawley wanted to be the guy who delivered for Trump's fanatical base. And in the hours after the January 6th riot, Hawley still objected to the submitted electors. Even when Senator Mitt Romney shouted at him on the Senate floor, thundering, "You have caused this," Hawley still objected to the electoral slate. Hawley, of course, lost the vote, and Joe Biden was certified as president. Still, for a year and a half, Josh Hawley has been betting his allegiance to Trump would all work out politically, and that the criticism he received from Romney and others would only be short-term damage. Indeed, a lot has happened since January 2021, and many Americans, may have forgotten that Josh Hawley had a role in trying to block democracy. The January 6th committee, though, rightfully decided it was time for a reminder and time to embarrass Josh Hawley. Keep in mind, this hearing was predicated on proving Donald Trump had chosen not to act in response to the rioters that day. This aside about Hawley did not help the committee's case against Trump. Still, the committee wants to exact a cost for those who sought to append the results of the 2020 election. And so, with just a few seconds of Capitol surveillance video, the committee destroyed Josh Hawley. And soon residents were chasing the neo-Nazis and threatening to beat the hell out of them. Somebody fired pepper spray, and the withdrawal was on.
Get out of here!
He's not bitching! Eventually, police detained the 40 or so men. The cops searched them, released them, and told them to leave for their own safety. However, the neo-Nazis didn't exactly get away scot-free. Hello everybody, I'm David Schuster and thanks for watching. Police say all of these fascists and racists who tried to march in Philadelphia came from outside the city. The group used 2 Penske rental trucks, and now the company is preparing to hit Patriot Front members with a lawsuit. Quote, Penske is not affiliated with this group and does not condone it in any way. Use of our vehicles for this purpose is unauthorized. Transporting people in the cargo area is also prohibited. We will take action with the renters of the vehicles involved. It means the organizers of this short-lived march will soon face tens of thousands of dollars in legal costs and will have their names placed on a transportation and rental truck watch list. Good luck renting a vehicle or truck ever again. Patriot Front is known for these sorts of events. Members mask up, scurry into town, wave flags with fascist symbols, and then scurry away. In some ways, it's funny that their plans in Philadelphia turned into such a humiliating debacle. All it took was a few dozen residents heckling and then shoving members of the group, and the Patriot Front decided to flee. They literally ran away from the people of Philadelphia. Now imagine the reception if locals had been given some kind of advanced notice or warning. The Patriot Front knuckleheads should consider themselves lucky. There are serious and disturbing elements, though, to these fascist and racist clowns. In several cities, this group has been posting hateful flyers and leaflets. They've also sprayed graffiti and defaced monuments to African Americans, including a memorial in Brooklyn to George Floyd. The group is aggressively recruiting young white men, and investigators suspect members are also stockpiling weapons. Federal law enforcement officials fear the Patriot Front could eventually merge with more militant white nationalist groups like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney said the short-lived march in his city left him personally appalled and disgusted. White supremacy and racism are among the greatest scourges this country has ever faced since its founding. While we respect everyone's right to exercise free speech, our administration stands against everything these groups represent. Thankfully, ordinary citizens are standing up as well.